right, guys. I'm going to do the evolution answers for you. Um, except for the first two, in that case, you're going to need to look up the vocabulary on your own. Number 3 says, what's the relationship between mutation rate, reproduction rate, changes in environment, and rate of evolution? As one increases, evolution increases. So some of these are fairly easy, and you can find these answers on your own, but I want to make sure that you're prepared for the benchmark one. Number 4 says, be able to read and interpret the cladogram. Why is a lancelet the outgroup? So in this case, this is a lancelet, and basically what it is he has no vertebral column. He has nothing to him. He's just nothing, and that's why he's the outgroup, because he has nothing to him. What derived traits do salamanders and turtles have in common according to the cladogram? That should be 4 legs, jaws, and a vertebral column. See, all the organisms shown in the cladogram are chordates, which means they have that vertebral column, which means they have ancestral traits that are the same. 5 seems to be a problem. It gave a lot of people a problem. Refer to the table containing amino acids, differences that separate humans from mammals. Answer the questions. Which 2 organisms probably share the most common recent ancestor? In this case, all I have to do is look at numbers. So if I look at my numbers and see which one's the closest together, I see that humans and monkeys are the closest together. So in that case, they probably share the most DNA together. Which organisms probably share the fewest? It's, again, look at the 2 opposites. So I've got humans and then I've got dogfish. Number 6, name and define the 4 major types of evidences used. I'm obviously not going to define them. You can do that on your own. The 4 evidences are embryological evidence, fossil evidence, which is paleontology, biochemical evidence, body structure, and anatomical evidence or morphology. 7. If 2 or more organisms have been linked to common ancestors and classified due to comparison of fossils showing bone structure that were found in archaeological dig, the classification and phylogeny of these organisms was based mostly on morphological evidence. Okay. Which of the following terms is most likely responsible for the following? Okay. A male peacock showing its brightly colored feathers would be a sexual selection. A dandelion seed becoming more tolerant to dry habitat would be natural selection. 3 separate species of finches with slightly different beak shapes and size evolved through adaptive radiation of the mainland of the South America. That's natural selection again. And then a farmer producing hens that lay chicken breasts through selective breeding as artificial selection, because I chose the traits I wanted. All right, if we're looking at the beaks, we looked at beaks a little bit in order to see. Depending on the beaks, we're depending on what kind of food that these birds tended to eat. So in this case, if we're looking here, this kind of looks like a hummingbird. So this would be your nectar drinker. And here you have your small seed eater. This kind of looks like a sparrow. And you have another insect eater, something similar to a cardinal or something like that. And then you have a fruit eater. All right, another thing that we really didn't go over was looking at the evolution charts. Now, the big one that I want you to remember is this disruptive evolution. This is disruptive. The hills are disrupted. This is disruptive evolution. Directional, it goes in one direction. Everything's moving to the right. And then you have stabilizing. It's stable. It's not moving anywhere. Which graph above of natural selection best represents individuals' average in height and portion? That would be C. That would be stabilizing. 11 says, which graph of natural selection best represents or favors giraffes needing longer necks to reach their taller branch? That would be B, directional selection. And 12 is, which graph best illustrates oysters once producing mostly medium-sized pearls changing over several generations to produce mostly small or large-sized pearls? And that would be A, disruptive selection. All right, so here's another one that's kind of giving y'all some problems. Which 2 organisms shown in the chart share the most common characteristics, and how can you tell? Best way to do this, go through your chart. All right, all these are animals, so it can't be that. All these are chordata except for that one, so the fly is out. All these are mammals except for the fly still. Carnivora, okay, so the gopher is out. And then we've got Canidia. All three of these are Canidia. And then these and then these are canines. So in that case, the closer we go, it's going to be the dog and the wolf because they share more of this whole chart, the taxon, than any other two. The organism in the genus Mucosa. So I can go to genus and go over to Mucosa, and I see, voila, it's a fly. Okay. Which two organisms share the fewest traits? Go back up, and I can see that these here, the gopher and the fly, they stop here at Animalia, so I know that they are going to be the least likely. All right, number 4. Unicellular, heterotrophic, prokaryotic, lives in harsh environments. That's archaebacteria. These are just vocabulary. Multicellular, ingest food, heterotrophic, have specialized cells for sexual reproduction. That's an animal. Mostly multicellular, have cell walls of chitin and decompose. That's fungi. Multicellular, cell walls of cellulose, photoautotrophic. Photoautotrophic should give you immediately and tell you that it's a plant. Unicellular prokaryotic may cause disease. Some are pathogenic. That's eubacteria. Number 9, unicellular, multicellular, heterotrophic, or autotrophic, eukaryotic. That's protista. Which kingdoms listed above have only prokaryotic organisms? Eubacteria and archaebacteria. Number 11 is which kingdoms above include only eukaryotic organisms? Protista, fungi, plantae, and animalia. Should be in that order. Good luck, guys.